So we have 8 students already for my participants. So I guess we can start now and just wait for them to arrive. So good afternoon, everyone. I am teacher Daniel Satira. I will be your teacher for disaster readiness and risk reduction. So I would also like to welcome our 3 evaluators from Philippine Normal University's biology program and our resident fourth year VE major, Mr. Andre Gonzalez. So, also welcome din sa mga participants natin, na students. So, um, let's start this session po with prayer.
Heavenly Father, as we learn together in this subject, we have realized that disasters are man made. However, there are still forces we cannot control coming from the complexity of your creation, which is the earth that we are living in right now. Keep us safe at all times in the classroom, and even as we part ways at the end of this day. Guide our friends and our loved ones, and give us strength to hold on to the knowledge we learn every day and to the love we have for the people around us.
Let's also give a moment of silence for the victims of the earthquake that recently hit Southeast Asia. So, we may not be able to bring back what was lost, but we can only pray for for the people and the families to recover and to overcome this trying times. So in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, so I would like to welcome all of you again to our uh session for today. So we are in an online setup. So let me just remind you of our online classroom rules. So first, especially for the student, please keep your cameras open so that we will know that you are still here with us and that you're focused in whatever is happening here in our session. So let me see. Uh, Students, please open your camera so I can see your faces. Okay, so I can see Isabella, Nicole, Dane, hi. And Charla, hello to you. Okay, so while I want you to keep your cameras open, I also would like you to keep your microphones off, keep it muted, so we can lessen the distraction while the discussion is ongoing. But you can raise your hand if you want to share something, if you want to recite, and if you have any questions to ask. And last, rule natin, or more of a reminder, mag-participate tayo sa activities natin ngayon. So you can utilize the chat box, the reaction button, especially when I'm doing some check-ins, to see if you are following through. So maybe we can try that right now. Please hit the heart react button if you are ready for this session, if you're ready to learn. Okay, I can see some hearts. Thank you, Dane. Thank you, Lexi. And keep it calming, the hearts. Ayan. So, let's continue doing that so we can make, our presence felt in this session. So, speaking of present, no, I want to know the attendance in this classroom today. Let me call Isa, our secretary, to report us the attendance.
Good afternoon po. I think po we have a full attendance today and we are all present. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you so much. So while you are here, it's good. I would also like to check how are you guys. So let's have a mood check. So you can see here drawings of clouds. So I want you to pick the cloud that best represents your mood today. So medyo natatagalan lang mag-load yung number 6 dito, no? So number 1, you could type sa chat box nyo kung ano yung number ng cloud na nagre-represent sa mood nyo. So number 1, maybe you are calm today. Uh, Number 2, you are very cheerful. Maybe something good happened to you today or in the past days. Number 3, excited kayo matuto. Number 4, baka pagod kayo. Number 5, you're sad. Maybe something bad happened. Number 6, hindi pa rin siya naglo-load. Pero the drawing here kasi is a cloud na merong hawak-hawak na thunder. So, maybe frustrated kayo these past few days. So, maybe uh, Paki-type naman ang number ng clouds na nagre-represent sa nararamdaman niyo today. Okay? I can see your responses now. Merong nagsagot ng 1. That's good. Number 2, meron din. Cheerful. Number 4, meron. So, doon sa mga nakakaramdam ng kung ang mood nyo ay nasa range ng 4 to 6 na clouds, I hope sa pagdaan ng araw, mas bumuti pa yung pakiramdam ninyo and ang mood ninyo. 2 p.m. pa lang naman, 2:20 pa lang. So, we still have a lot of time. So, one thing that really lifts up my mood or lifts my spirit is when I realize that I have already learned a lot. So, um, speaking of what we have learned, last time we discussed yung volcanic related hazards. So let's have a quick review through an activity. So we have to rearrange the jumbled letters na naka-flash sa screen ninyo and para ma-reveal natin kung ano yung volcanic related hazard na dinidescribe. So is everybody ready? Can I get a like react? Okay, thank you. So, mamaya you can raise your hand if you want to answer. So, for our first item, this is the word or the jumbled letters. So, ano kaya yung volcanic hazard na nagde-describe sa hot or cold mixture of water and rock fragments flowing down the slopes of volcano and river alley? Okay, can someone try? Okay, Nicole is raising her hand. Okay, you may try.
I think po the answer is lahar.
Lahar nga ba? Let's see. That's right, it's lahar. Very good, Nicole. So, second item tayo. Okay, so ngayon meron naman tayong 2 words for this volcanic-related hazard. So, this refers to the rain of airborne ash resulting from volcanic eruption. Ano kaya ito? Madami nagtataas ng kamay. This is great. I want to hear from Charla. Ano kaya ito?
Ashfall po.
Is it ashfall? Let's see. Ayan, ashfall nga. So that is the rain of urban ash resulting from volcanic eruption. So next item naman is we have 2 words. So ano kaya itong streams of molten rocks that are poured or oozed from an erupting vent? Ano kaya ito? Raising their hand. Um, Stephanie, you want to try?
Lava flow po.
Is it lava flow? Let's see. Correct. So it's lava flow. Okay, now we can move on to the last item. Medyo mahaba siya, no? 2 words and so many letters. So this is a massive collapse of a volcano usually triggered by an earthquake or volcanic eruption. Ano kaya ito? Hmm, Nicole is raising her hand, but I want to hear from Dane. Ano kaya siya?
Can I have a hint for the second half of the word? So I know the first part is volcanic.
Okay, so the second part of second word pala, you can just look at this clue of collapse.
Collapse. Can I have another clue?
Okay, so a clue. So, since it's related to a volcano, no? It's a geological landform. So, ano kaya yung pwede mag-represent sa collapse ng isang landform?
Um, I don't know. I
Okay.
give up.
Okay, sige. Maybe we can let others try. Have a try. Patricia.
It's volcanic landslide po.
Yes, let's see. Is it volcanic landslide? Ayan, so that is volcanic landslide. So it's good that you guys are able to remember these concepts, no? But we have to put this aside now. Let's move on to the or to our next lesson. So ano kaya ang ating or ano kaya ang i-expect natin for today's lesson? So can somebody please read the objectives for me? Okay. You? Yun pa kaya? Can Lexi please read these objectives?
Okay po. At the end of the lesson, the learners will be able to differentiate various hydrometeorological hazards, strengthen preparedness and recognition of the signs of impending hazards, and utilize information from virtual simulations to distinguish hydrometeorological hazards. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, Lexi. So speaking of information, no, one of our ways to get information is actually by using our sense of hearing. So when we listen, we get information. That is why our first activity for today is about or is entitled Listen, Pause, and Note. So ano bang gagawin natin dito ngayon? So for this activity, I want you to get your notebooks because we will listen to the address of former President Noynoy Aquino on Typhoon Yolanda. So every now and then, we will take a pause from listening to the audio so we can consolidate na yung mga narinig natin from the part na napakinggan na natin. So there will be question that will be asked in between pause breaks. So, you will write your answers doon sa notebooks ninyo. So, are my instructions clear? Can I have a like button? Okay. Thank you so much for the heart. Can I please see? Pakita nyo sa camera kung meron na kayong notebooks and pen with you that you will use to write. Okay, so nakita ko na si Dane meron, si Lexi, Charla, Patricia is naka-off yung cam, but I
Yeah,
hope
I
uh
can my compo, but I have my notebook and notebook.
okay, so that's good. So um maybe some ano pwede mong buksan yung camera mo every now and then. Pero if you can't turn on your camera right now, that's also okay. So I think we can proceed na to the activity. Okay. Yan. So for a while. Yan. Okay. So, ano, yung audio natin ngayon is nilagyan ko ng captions so that it be easier for
area of
for you to follow through. So, isa-start ko na siya. Okay? So, listen attentively, please.
Magandang gabi po sa lahat.
Okay, wait lang pala. So, ano yung nakikita sa screen ko today? For now po. Ano yung nakikita niyo sa screen? Lexi, anong nakikita mo sa screen ko right now?
Yung former President Noynoy Aquino po and yung text na magandang gabi po sa lahat.
Oh, okay. So, I guess tama naman yung na-present ko. Okay, so let's start na. Listen attentively and carefully.
At kakatapos lang natin kausapin ang mga dalubhasa mula sa DOST, Pag-asa at Mines and Geosciences Bureau kung saan natin kinuha ang pinakahuling datos at inaasahang gagawin ng bagyo. Alam naman po ninyo na si Yolanda ay pumasok na sa ating area of responsibility. Tulad ng ginawa natin nung pagdating ni Pablo nung nakaraang taon, minabuti ko pong humarap sa inyo upang ipabatid kung gaano kaseryoso ang peligrong kakaharapin ng ating mga kababayan sa darating ng mga araw.
Ayan. So, for our first question break, for the first few seconds of the audio, ano sa tingin nyo yung message? So, what do you think the message is going to be about? You can write your answers on your paper or your notebook. 1 to 2 sentence is enough. So, you have 30 seconds to answer. Start the timer. think naghang yung timer. But, I'll just count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I hope you guys are done listening. Okay, so I think I'll just revert to my own to my file para hindi na tayo ma-interrupt ng ating ang tawag dito ay internet connection. Wait lang. Okay. So I will share na yung screen ko doon pa sa isa. Yung actual file na. So hanapin ko. Yeah, so let's wait for the timer to finish. Okay, so I hope you guys are done writing your answer, no? Now, from this moment on, I want you to, I will allow you to take notes na before we go pa sa ating question breaks. Kasi, the next parts of the audio will be information loaded. So, you can take notes na kung ano na yung maririnig nyo sa audio. But, para pagdating natin sa pause break natin, ay i-consolidate nyo na lang yung sagot ninyo. Okay? Is everybody ready? Play ko na ulit siya.
Umabot na at aabot pa sa storm signal number 4 ang lakas ng hangin sa ilang mga lugar dulot ng bagyong ito. Sa kasalukuyan datos, mukhang pong mas matindi ang hagupit ni Yolanda kaysa kay Pablo. Nagdadasal na lang nga po tayo na dahil sa tuloy na takbo nito ay hindi na siya pumirmi sa ating mga lalawigan upang gumawa ng mga mas marami pang pinsala. Nasa 600 kilometro po ang diameter ng bagyong ito. Inaasahan pong tatama si Yolanda sa mga probinsya ng Samar at Leyte simula mamayang hating gabi. Babagtasin ito ang mga probinsya ng Masbate, Cebu, Panay, Romblon, Mindoro at Palawan bago tuluyan lumabas sa Philippine Area of Responsibility sa Sabado ng gabi.
Okay, so right now maybe you have heard relevant information about Typhoon Yolanda. So I want you to write that down on your paper. But if you have already did while the audio is playing, that's great. Para sa mga hindi pa, I will also give you 30 seconds to write down what you can remember. Okay, so I will give you an additional of 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so let's continue.
Bukod sa inaasahang bugso ng hangin, ulan, pag-apaw ng mga ilog, pati ang posibilidad ng pagdagsa ng lahar sa mga puok na malapit sa bulkan ng Mayon at Bulusan. Minomonitor din po natin ang banta ng mga storm surge sa mahigit 100 mga puok. Matindi ang panganib ng storm surge sa Ormoc, Kinyangan, Ragay, Gulf sa Albay at Lamon Bay sa Atimonan. Maaring umabot ng 5 hanggang 6 na metro ang taas ng alon sa mga lugar na ito.
Okay, so this is our last pause break. But right now, I want you to write yung mga places pa na nabanggit dito sa part na to. And also, what are they being monitored for? Again, I will give you 25 seconds kasi nakalagay dito sa timer. But 30 seconds yung ibibigay ko sa inyo. Okay, so additional ng 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now, play na natin yung last part ng audio natin.
Para sa dagdag pong kaalaman, pumunta po tayo sa mga website ng Pag-asa, Mines and Geosciences Bureau at ng Project NOAA upang makita kung gaano kaapektado ang inyong komunidad sa pagdating ng bagyo. Magsilbi rin po sanang babala ang pahayag nito sa ating mga LGU. Seryosong peligro po ang kinakaharap ng inyong mga nasasakupan. Gawin na po natin ang ating magagawa habang hindi pa lumalapag sa Yolanda. Ulitin ko po, seryosong peligro ito at maaaring mabawasan ang epekto kung gagamitin natin ang impormasyon upang maganda.
All right. So, uh, okay. So while I'm preparing my digital whiteboard, can I please ask from the class kung tungkol saan nga ba yung um yung message na pinarating ni former President Noynoy Aquino. Okay? Can I have a show of hands? Who wants to try? Okay, Isa, what is it about?
I think po the former president wanted to say at that time that Yolanda is not just a normal storm, but rather it's a dangerous typhoon and all must be ready. Especially nagbigay na po siya ng different informations that could be used in order for the people to save themselves them as well.
Okay, thank you, Isa. So now that you mentioned na meron siyang minention na information, my next question would be, at that time, what were the data that were currently available about, or what they currently know about the Typhoon Yolanda? Maybe about the numerical number, yung numerical data. Ano pa kaya? Can someone please oh, okay. Let me see kung sino yung nagtataas ng kamay. Patricia.
I think the information that was said earlier was the diameter of the storm, which is the 600 kilometers, and the storm surge, which 5 to 6 meters high, affecting over 100 areas. Also, some of the places that can be affected of the storm, Yolanda.
Okay. So you mentioned about the places. Sa Typhoon Yolanda, the initial parang forecast, ano daw yung dadaanan nitong places? Okay, let me see. Can I have Almira, do you want to answer? Okay, wait lang. Oh, okay. Somebody raised their hand. Alexi, do you want to answer?
Based dun sa audio, yung inaasahan daw po na maglandfall ito sa Samar and Leyte. Then dadaanan po yung places ng Masbate, Cebu, Palawan, and Romblon bago ito lumabas ng Philippine Area of Responsibility on Saturday.
Okay, so nabanggit mo din kung kailan siya darating. So let's write your date of arrival. So aside from this information about the typhoon itself, what were the current dangers that are being monitored surrounding the Typhoon Yolanda? Okay. Lisa is raising hand. Can I have other people please to answer? You can try. No. Okay. Is Nicole around? What other dangers are they monitoring to
Teacher,
yes, okay.
teacher, the former president Noynoy Aquino also mentioned about the storm surge and the volcanic hazards that the people might be experienced po during the typhoon.
Okay, volcanic hazard, which we also, parang, yun yung previous lesson natin, no? So, aside from these volcanic hazards, ano pa kaya? Charla?
Aside from the volcanic hazards po, nabanggit din po ng former president na maaaring magdala po ang bagyong Yolanda ng malakas na bugso ng hangin, lakas ng ulan, and then lahar po na malapit sa bulkan ng Mayon, and 5 to 6 na metro po ng taas ng alon.
Okay, so aside from strong winds and heavy rainfall, ano pa kaya yung related din na hazard na dala-dala ng Typhoon Yolanda? Maybe if you were um conscious, I guess, at that time, maybe naaalala niyo yung situation natin. Ano yung nakikita niyo sa labas ng bahay niyo nung nandito na si Bagyong Yolanda? Patricia, yes.
The massive flooding and destructions of infrastructures around the area that was affected.
Right, that's right. Yung pagbaha, pati na rin yung destruction of infrastructure, infrastructures. So, again, let us review kung ano na yung nakalagay natin dito, no? So, sa Typhoon Yolanda, we already know about the size of the typhoon, kung saan siya magla-landfall, kung kailan siya darating, and then yung mga storm surges na binabantayan sa ibang lugar, strong winds, flooding, and also heavy rain, and then yung destruction of infrastructure. So, um, in the video, in the audio, no, may na-mention doon na mga lugar. So, if you were the one living in those places, anong mararamdaman niyo? And then um, doon kayo nakatira and then narinig niyo tong balita na to. No, something bad would happen. Merong typhoon na darating at ito yung mga dala-dala niyo pa. Isabella, yes.
Siguro po talagang kakabahan, tapos siguro at that moment baka magpapanik kasi kung kasi at that time nakwento rin po na hindi pa ganun kaalam na meron talagang super typhoon. So ayun po.
Okay, so shinare ni Isabella na nervous, makakabahan siya, magpapanik. Or meron pa bang maybe similar answers or other answers? Okay. Okay. Let's call on si Dane. Maybe you can answer this time. What would you feel if you were in these places that were forecasted to be hit by the Typhoon Yolanda and its related hazards?
I'd probably panic because I don't like the sound of storm surges, flooding, destruction of infrastructure.
Yes. Okay. So there's a lot of dangers that is happening during or even just by knowing these hazards. Yes, Patricia, you have some answers?
I'm sorry, I did not lower my hand, but I would like to add to their answers that I'd be scared and worried because there's this constant threat about the strong winds, flooding, and the storm surge So it would be frightening not knowing how bad it would get.
Okay, so yes, no? Itong binalita sa atin na information, no? It's an additional na din itong mga dala-dala niyo pang hazards. So it's really normal na matakot tayo, mag-cause siya ng panic. Even more so if we are living in these places na na-forecast na kung saan mangyayaring itong mga hazards na to. So, but even then, even though knowing can cause panic, fear, why is it still important that we, ang tawag dito, that we know this information? Bakit mahalaga na malaman to ng publiko? Why is it important? Stephanie, yes?
I think it is important po na malaman pa rin ng public yung mga um, balita na ganito para po makapag-prepare din sa kahit po yung sa sarili, ganon. Tapos, and as our former president said po kanina na mas okay po yung may nagagawa na hanggat hindi pa dumadating yung bagyo.
Okay. So, yes, it's important. So, sabi nga ni former President Noynoy Aquino, let's use this information para makapaghanda. Now, why is it important that we prepare for typhoons and the hazards that it will bring? Yes, Patricia.
It can reduce panic to us people or the one that will be affected because when people are informed, we or they can stay calm and make clear decisions instead of reacting out of fear.
Okay. So, since they will be preparing, no, alam na nila kung ano yung gagawin nila kapag dumating na talaga yung bagyo. Any other answers? Thank you so much pala, Patricia, for sharing that. Okay, Isabella, yes?
I think po aside from saving themselves, it could also lessen the effect towards their community and other infrastructures po.
Oh, yan, tama. So, na-mention kanina, no, na may destruction of infrastructure. So, preparing would help us para prevent the impacts pa na pwedeng niyang dalhin. Okay, so now we're talking about preparedness and hazards, of course, like typhoon. So, sa tingin nyo, how would understanding the nature of the hazards such as typhoon or storm surge contribute to our preparedness? Okay, maybe other hands? Stephanie, maybe you want to answer? Okay, Isa.
I think po if we know, if we know the information in terms of preparing something before a storm would hit, siguro one step closer tayo in terms of safety ng sarili mo po at also the other people around you.
So yes, one step closer to safety. Do you guys believe that though hazards are related to each other, like this one, sa typhoon, um, may kakabit siyang storm surge, would it require specific, do you think it would require specific actions? Yes, Isabella agrees. How about the others? Okay, Lexi also agreed. Can I ask why, Lexi? Why do you think there are specific actions that needs to be taken?
I think it's because on every disaster, we need to for example, on the storm surge, if we are living in the near water or bodies of water, of course, we need to move out there because we are the one that will be affected first.
Okay, so in a sense that some hazards happen in specific places, no? There are people na mas or areas na mas vulnerable because the hazard is taking place. Yung nature ng hazard na yon ay doon nakakabit. Okay, so thank you so much for your answer. So let's proceed na sa ating discussion. Etong mga ni-discuss natin ngayon, ang typhoons, storm surges, these are types of hydrometeorological hazards. Naku, napaka-mouthful ng pangalan ng hazards, no? So, pero let's break it down. So, can you please type kung anong naiisip nyo pag nakita natin yung salitang hydro? Just sa chat box. Water? Okay. Parang similar nga yung answers nila. Lumang answers sa mga students natin. Water. Okay. May okay. May flood. Okay. So, next, sa meteorological kaya, ano yung naiisip nyo? Climate? Sabi ni Dane, climate? Ano pa kaya? What's ano yung ginagawa ng isang meteorologist? Weather. Yeah, so a meteorologist studies the weather and the weather forecasted. So, basically, hydrometeorological hazards are hazards na ang origin niya is the atmospheric processes, and it's about the weather. Sa hydrology, which is the study of the water cycle, and then oceanography, the oceanic processes. So, an example of hydrometeorological hazard is yung typhoon, which is na-discuss na natin, which is yung Typhoon Yolanda. So, typhoon is actually a classification siya ng tropical cyclone. Pero, classification na ito is nagde-depend dun sa wind speed na meron sila. So, dito ang wind speed niya ng isang typhoon ay 118 to 184 kilometers per hour. So, ang isang tropical cyclone, it is characterized by its low pressure, heavy rains, and high winds. So, I would like to show you this um, tropical cyclone parang signals ng galing sa Pag-asa. This is actually a revised part. So, kung nakikita nyo, meron ditong limang category. So, yung limang category na ito, yung nakita nyo sa huli, is yung super typhoon. So, it was actually introduced, itong signal na to, nung dumating si Typhoon Yolanda, dahil napakalakas talaga ng kanyang daladalang hangin. So, but this is not the standard back then, di ba? So, nung in-introduce yung category na to, meron pang mababa pa lang yung bracket for the wind speed. So, dati, yung typhoon is 118 to 220 kilometers per hour. Tapos, yung super typhoon is 220 kilometers per hour or higher. But then, on 2022, mas binabaan yung bracket niya, no, for us to meet the standards. So next, I would like you to react to this fact, no? An average of 20 tropical cyclones enter the Philippine area of responsibility annually. So annually means every year. Anong reaction niyo dito? Reaction. Verbal reaction, not the emoji reaction. What do you guys think about this? Lexi, yes?
I think po it's because we are a tropical country and katabi po natin wait, yung karagatan Pasipiko
Yes.
kaya po sa atin daanan yung mga tropical cyclones.
Oh yes, kasi ang tropical cyclones ay nabubuo dahil din sa around the ocean, no? Dahil sa water cycle na meron tayo ngayon. Okay, so next hazard natin is yung thunderstorms. It is the easiest to remember because yung pangalan niya is nandun na yung components na pwede mong matandaan. So yung thunderstorms, it is a storms na napoproduce ng cumulonimbus clouds kung natatandaan nyo. Nagbigay tayo ng cloud kanina for doon sa mood check, no? So, a thunderstorm, it is accompanied by lightning and thunder and strong winds and heavy rain. Okay, so for these two, I would like to discuss them side by side kasi related din naman sila. So, yung flood, nag-overflow yung water from their artificial banks onto normally dry land. Tapos yung flash flood naman, meron ding release of water, but just look at the words, flash flood. So, by its word, mabilisang pag-release ng water. So, yun yung flash flood. So, ang signs niya is that magko-collect yung water in puddles. Tapos, makikita mo na yung tubig is maputik. Medyo brownish na siya. And then, meron ng lumulutang na debris. So, pag may typhoon na sobrang lakas, meron din talagang risk for flash flood. So, can I ask if there are any of you na parang living near an area na parang prone to flooding. Okay, nag-heart si Lexi, Isabella. Si Isabella, saan ka nakatira, Isabella?
Originally po sa Zambales.
Hmm. Okay, so bahain sa Zambales?
Hindi naman teacher, pero at yung certain na lugar namin, medyo mababa kasi siya. So from medyo mataas na area, tapos papunta sa mababa. And then yung mga ibang part kasi sa likod namin, medyo may mga bahay na so wala na ring lalabasan ng tubig if ever.
Okay, so parang meron talagang factor yung topography ng ating lands, no? May mga lugar talaga na bahain dahil bababa. O kaya naman, Marikina, bahain kasi nandun yung catch basin na doon sila yung sumasalo ng ulan galing ibang lugar. Okay, so dito talaga na natin nakikita na there are hazards na may mga places na at risk for certain hazards. So, meron silang ibang kinds of preparation for that kasi nakakabit na sa kanila yung ganitong pagiging prone or vulnerable din sa ganitong hazards. Okay, next. Can I please ask someone to describe what they can see here sa ating diagram for storm surge? Just describe what you can see. Denise? Teacher. Tanong? Sorry, you were breaking up kanina sa audio. Okay po. You're still unclear, sorry.
I
Time's
think
up na
po,
raw po.
time's up na daw.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Again, hello everyone. Thank you for participating and sa evaluators natin. Thank you so much. Then before we leave the Zoom meeting, may we have a photo of kasama yung evaluators and then students and then yung mga observers natin. Please open your cameras na lang. Thank
Hmm.
Ayan, if may kayang observer na mag-picture then please do so and then pakisend na lang sa group chat natin. Thank you. Ayan, may ilan pang hindi naka-open yung camera. Kindly open na lang para makapag-proceed na tayo sa evaluators natin.
Okay, so yung mga classmates ko po na observer, please, paki-open po ang camera if hindi na kaya. If that's okay. But the students, sana is makita natin na naka-open yung cam. Okay. Um, okay, so ako na lang pala ang mag-photo op. Ako na lang mag-screenshot. So, 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, save ko lang. Sorry. Another one. 1, 2, 3, smile. Ayan. Okay na po. Thank you.
Again, thank you very much sa ating mga participants and then evaluators. Pwede na po mag-leave ng meeting yung mga participants natin. Thank you so much po. For the
Thank you po.
evaluators po, thank you po. For the evaluators naman po, let's have the comments po to avoid and then to continue per evaluator. Reminder lang na if nabanggit na po ng previous evaluator yung comment, wag na po natin uulitin. Ayun lang po. Thank you. Let's start with sino pong gustong maunang evaluator to comment? Si Teacher Angela po kaya nandito po for comment po.
Hello po.
Ayan.
Ayan. Hello po, good afternoon. Congratulations, Teacher Daniel, for your demo. Alam ko nakakakaba. And I know you prepared for this. So, start tayo sa, sa avoid na lang para Ayan. So, for the avoid, napansin ko na there were concepts that were mentioned in the activity and in the um, elaborate part, no, na baka hindi familiar yung students. So, better sana na na-unlock yung mga yun, such as the words PAR, meteorology, storm surge na possibly pag ginawa nila sa activity, hindi pala nila alam. So, may hirapan sila. As well as yung hydrometeorological, no? Sana na-include siya sa review, kaya naman sa engage part. Ayun. So, yung activity naman, maganda naman yung activity kasi na-include yung flooding, no? Na something relatable to the students. Kasi possibly, na-experience nila or madalas nilang nakikita. Ang ano ko lang doon is, since ang pinaka-goal natin is ma-introduce yung hydrometeorological disasters, no? So, hindi na mention yung iba. So, nag-focus na lang siya sa flooding. And it took long time na nakafocus lang doon. So, better sana na na-include din yung iba para hindi ka na rin mahirapan i-introduce sa students on the elaborate part kung ano yung ibang hydrometeorological concepts. Ayan. And you can let students talk more or you can open the chat box. Ayan. Kahit meron ding nag-answer from the through voice, no, better na meron din sa chat box para more engaging yung dito yung lesson. And yun na lang muna yung sa sa avoid, and others ilagay ko na lang sa docs. Then for the continue, pacing of the lesson was followed naman, no, from prayer, kaya lang nakulangan nga lang ng time, pero it was followed. Even the prayer was connected to the topic. And it is good that you have backup plan, meron kang plan B kahit nawalan ng internet or may technical problem. Ayan. So, you also, yung react to the fact is also good na they can relate something to that, na marirealize nila, oo nga na may ganun nga nangyayari sa Philippines. So, yun lang po muna. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you so much for that po, Teacher Angela. Now may we have Teacher Jana po for comment.
Congratulations din po. Kasi, yan nga po nabanggit ni Teacher Angela kayo na nakakaba kasi syempre online. Tapos, so first po, siguro mag-start na lang ako sa continue part. So, very nice voice and very modulated. And nakita ko din po na very fluent sa English. Kaso meron lang po mga times na medyo nagiging monotonous yung tono ng boses and then nagkakaroon ng lack of emphasis within sa mga words or na dinidiscuss. And then, good thing din po na na-remind yung classroom rules at the start. And then, yung Zoom reactions were maximized, pati yung chats. Nakakatawa din po yung mood check kasi yun, related, katulad po ng prayer na nabanggit kanina. Pero mas maganda po siguro kung nagkaroon ng subtitles yung mga clouds. Like for example, yung number 1, calm, ganun. Kasi binanggit lang po siya verbally, pero hindi natin may ensure na nakuha po yun or natatandaan po yun ng bata. So, mas maganda po na na-flash din siya along with the clouds. And then, your review activity po is easy, pero baka po mas maganda na yung definitions ay nabasa po ng bata kaysa po yung teacher yung nagbabasa after nila sagutan or before nila sagutan. And nakakatuwa din po na yung non-participating student was given a chance to answer and then nag-guide din siya kasi syempre po nag-ask ng clues and all pero yun nga po hindi siya nakasagot. And then we moved on din sa next student. Pero next time po siguro kapag ganun, parang siguro nakatagal din siya ng time kasi nakailang clues din tapos hindi niya masagot. Siguro after one time na hindi siya nakasagot, pwedeng mag-ask din ng help from other students, ganyan. And yung next activity was on the audio analysis. So maganda po yung napapause yung video from time to time. And meron ding caption. Saka nakita ko rin po na merong highlighted words. Like for example, yung hangin and then storm surge. And meron pa pong iba na naka-highlight in yellow. And in this activity, mas maganda po siguro na na-flash din yung question. Like for example, ano yung minomonitor, ano yung mga places na minention na binabanggit and sinasagutan nila. Kasi kung hindi siya naka-flash, baka makalimutan din. Ayun. Mas maganda po na naka-flash yung lahat-lahat talaga. And then, good thing na mayroong contextualization doon po sa audio file. Pero sana mas recent yung minention na typhoon, pwedeng Karina, ayan, or kung ano man pong recent. Kasi parang nagkaroon pa ng looking back, di ba? Ano yung, mayroong question on ano yung naalala nila during this typhoon. So, mas maganda kung mas recent yung pinili nating typhoon. And then, good use of the online whiteboard. Nakikita nila yung answers nila. Pero mas maganda po siguro kung may table prepared na. And then, merong integration din. Like, for example, sa water cycle, na-mention siya. And good thing din po na merong different questions na in the middle of the discussion na pwede silang makarelate. Like, for example, saan sila nakatira, kung bahain doon, and so on. And for the continue part po, sorry, sobrang haba. Siguro too much information lang kasi sobrang dami po nung diniscuss na hazards. Pwede siguro mag-focus lang tayo typhoons po na ganyan. Kasi katulad po na nabanggit ni Teacher Angela na parang yung activity was more on typhoons. Sa kung titignan po natin yung competency code, nakalagay doon C to D. So, for 2 weeks dapat yung mismong competency na to. Okay. And then, dun sa learning objectives, pwedeng mas simplify siya. Like, for example, dun sa second objective natin, enhance awareness of impending hazards instead na parang madaming verbs or may dalawang verbs. And then, siguro po, sobrang liit lang nito. Pero kanina nakita ko or narinig ko na sinabi po ni teacher na anong tawag dito, ganun. Habang iniisip niya yung next na sasabihin niya. So, mas maganda na mag-pause tayo to collect our thoughts before tayo mag-continue. And meron ding time na natawag na guys yung mga students. Tapos last na lang po siguro. Yung last question about sa understanding or how can understanding the nature of different hazards such as typhoons and storm surges contribute to preparedness? Pwede pong natanong na lang siya after the discussion kasi dun pa lang nila na-understand yung mga concepts na yun. Ayan po so far. And yung iba po, nasa LP na rin nakalagay. Ayan po. Thank you so much po. Congrats ulit.
Thank you so much po, Teacher Jana. Now, may we have Teacher Lalaine po.
And good afternoon po, everyone. So, Teacher Daniel, congratulations po for finishing your demonstration. So, ang daming comment to Teacher Zana, pero I'll just add na lang po with uh, their evaluation. So, for the continue, um, maganda po na si teacher, talagang ini-encourage niya yung students to share their insights and answers rather than simply providing them yung answer. So maganda po na talagang may participation yung student and hindi lang si teacher yung nagkasalita all throughout. And mas maganda rin po siguro if nakita natin yung with the abstraction or discussion part since mas okay po na talagang si student or meron tayong mismong guide or guide questions para ayun yung magiging mismong guide natin all throughout the discussion na si student yung mismong nag-share ng kanilang insights. And for the avoid naman po siguro, ayun nga, avoid spending too much time dun sa single part ng topic. Kaya po siguro kinulang din sa time since kailangan po natin mag-allot ng time for the most important part nung ating discussion which is dun po sa mismong discussion itself. Ayan. Then, agree din po ako dun kay Teacher Zana na there are too many concepts to be covered in a single discussion. So, if mas nabanggit naman po siguro kanina yung about sa typhoon or storm surge, mas okay na mag-focus po tayo with that topic. And ayun with the key terms, mas okay din talaga na na-unlock muna yung mga terms na si students mahirap na masagot before to start the discussion. Pero overall po, congratulations. Thank you.
Ayan, again, thank you very much po sa ating mga evaluators for today's demo session and ayun po, thank you very much po.
I think meron pa po si Angie for RVE. Si Teacher Angie po for
Okay po,
the
sige po. Sorry
policy
po.
advanced education.
Yes po, sorry po. Ayan, for Teacher Andre po, for the comment din po.
Ayan, good afternoon everyone and congratulations, Danny. Narinig ba ako? Ay, narinig siguro yung manok. Narinig ba?
Yes po,
Ayan,
audible
narinig
po.
namin ako. Ayan. So, ayan, thank you sa mga evaluators natin from biology. Ayan, nakapag-mention na sila about comments, lalo na sa content kasi mas alam nila yon. Ayun. So, ang ibibigay ko na lang continue avoid is routine and sa value. So, saan tayo magsisimula, Dani? Sa avoid na lang.
Yes.
Okay lang. Sige, sa avoid, siguro may iwasan yung mga yung technical difficulties, mga naging challenges kanina sa presentation. Kung di-download na lang sana yung presentation, kasi meron ng feature ngayon yung Canva, tama, yung i-download mo as offline presentation para hindi naglo-loading yung mga images, yung mga videos na mga media na in-insert natin sa presentation. Nilagay ko rin sa avoid na dapat i-reimpose yung rules kapag during the activity kasi nag-introduce ka ng nag-introduce ka ng rule na dapat sa classroom management nag-introduce ka ng rule na mag-raise ng hand kapag may gustong sumagot. Tapos during the activity ng review, may student na nag-comment ng answer niya habang may mga naka-raise hand na ibang students. So dapat mas okay kung na-reimpose yung magtaas ng kamay na rule para hindi siya maulit. Tapos, um, medyo na miss opportunity rin na mas okay kung may transition yung phases ng LT kasi halimbawa yung sa review, sayang kasi medyo super related nung review sa lesson na i-discuss mo right now. So sana bago in-introduce yung layunin, may transition mula sa review kung anong importance ng naaral nila sa review, yung naaral nila last time sa magiging discussion right now since yung about hazard yung review tapos preparedness yung value mo na ituturo. Tapos, ano pa ba? Medyo kulang tayo sa reinforcement, Danny. Mag, hindi ko alam kung medyo busy ka mag-pick up ng answers, kaya medyo hindi ka na nakakapagsabi parang hindi mo na na-acknowledge na maganda yung sagot ng students, ganyan. Pag sagot nila, diretso mo siya tinatype. Mas gaganahan siguro yung mga bata sumagot kapag nagsasabi ka ng good, very good, or another reinforcement. Ayan, the teacher should smile more. Relax lang tayo. Tapos smile lang talaga tayo photo op. Ayan, so ngayon nakaka-smile ka na. So sana sa discussion mo rin during time ni teacher habang nagtuturo nakaka-smile din para mas light yung energy natin. Ayan. Sa continue, mas marami naman ako makonsulo sa continue mo. Nagustuhan ko na thematic yung um, nagustuhan ko yung attention mo sa detail. Even yung PowerPoint mo, related siya sa topic. Yung prayer, related din siya sa topic. Tapos nagustuhan ko rin na nakapag-relate ka pa sa current events, especially sa nangyaring earthquake no, sa kapitbahay nating bansa. So maganda yon since ma-realize ng students na nangyayari talaga yung mga ganitong pangyayari, especially kahit ngayon, no? Nagustuhan ko rin may classroom management, very calming yung voice ni teacher. May SEL, even yung SEL, related din siya sa thematic din siya. So, um, attention to detail talaga, no? Tapos, Chalk Talk, sobrang ganda ng Chalk Talk, organized yung Chalk Talk. No, nagustuhan ko na yung sa last question. At saka by the way, yung sa ano pala, sa tahi mo ng question, sobrang ganda ng pagkakasunod-sunod ng processing questions mo. Kaya I think sobrang bilis lumabas ng value ng preparedness. Unang tanong mo pa lang, unang hit mo pa lang ng value na mag-elicit, ay question na mag-elicit ng value, lumabas na agad yung value mo. Kasi magandang build up ng questions. Kaya mabilis lumabas, no? Nagustuhan ko yun. Ano pa ba? Sa Chalk Talk, organized nga siya. Nagustuhan ko na yung na-mention, nag-ask ka sa question number 6, tapos yung sagot ng student related sa question number 2 and number 3, nilagay mo ng arrow. So, maganda na na-visualize, lalo na mga visual learners yung connection ng topic. So, ayun, overall, magaling ka, panalo ka. Ay, magaling naman overall, no? Ready na si Teacher Dan for PT. Congrats, Daniel, eh.
Thank you.
Ayun, again, thank you so much po sa mga evaluators natin. And ayun lang, thank you po for joining and commenting sa naging demo teaching ni Teacher Daniel. Thank you po.
Thank you po.